we are at Tahuya today. We're going to do some riding. It's just about New Year's. And I got 30 Cal here, and just wanted to talk about riding tips. How to get better, how to go from beginner intermediate to a better level. What are some of the things that Cal notices when we ride with people that are just getting kind of started out or intermediate? You know, a few pointers on what to do to get better quick. Cal, what do you think?
A few things I like to try and always keep consistent is to ride off my seat as often as possible. Try and weight your pegs when cornering. And on top of that, the other thing that I always try to do is maintain the best riding position possible. Weighting your bars properly is important coming into corners. You can't be back too far. Your front wheel wants to wash out.
So body position forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had talked about trusting the bike. What does that mean?
Well, the bike will do a lot more than you think as long as you point that front tire where you want to go.
And you can't do that if you're going too slow, right?
No. And if you don't weight the bike properly or your pegs.
Okay. I learned from you guys that in order to get better and faster, I actually had to learn how to stop better. So explain why braking is important in going faster.
To like middle to ball, and then when I go to brake, I usually just spin my foot. I can't really show you right now.
So you don't want your foot too far back, because that means you have to become active with your foot.
Yeah, you don't want to have to lift your foot to hit the brake. You want to be able to swing your toe where you can hit it. So you're not hovering over it.
So from a braking standpoint, what emphasis are you putting on the front brake compared to the rear brake typically?
Only time I really, on a 4-stroke, you don't really need the brakes very much in the rear. Just let off the throttle a little if you need to. But
so the engine braking does the job.
Yeah.
So you're in a higher RPM then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you are riding up a gear or something, then the brake comes more into play. But anyway, as far as braking goes, I always rely mostly on my front.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rear brake is for when you want to slide into a corner, and your engine brake isn't going to do it for you on a 4-stroke.
Cal, tell us about how the front brake helps people get through corners.
Well, a front brake into a corner can either wipe you out or help you out. You just got to practice it. There's no real given technique that I can explain. It just takes practice to be able to hit the front brake before you get into a corner at just the right time, and then accelerate out if you're going to use your front brake.
Now we ride in a lot of steep stuff. Maybe explain how the front brake is used for getting through switchbacks better by compressing the forks.
Downhill switchbacks, the front brake comes into play pretty heavily. I don't like to use my rear as much because I want my rear to be light so you can swing it around and pivot. You want your back end to be as light as possible so that you could actually weight your peg and get your back end to slide.
So today we're going to be riding, it's going to be super wet out. We're going to be dealing with a lot of roots, not a lot of elevation today. What are some of the tricks for riding right now when it's really wet out?
Speed is nice. Try to get over the puddles. You know, if you're going faster, you're less likely to hit the backside of the root. You're more likely to skip over it. You just want to maintain a good line.
Yeah. How about the angle of attack on the roots?
Yeah, that's maintaining your line. So if you're gonna skip off of it, it's more likely to happen when you're coming at an angled root.
Yeah.
Log.
So definitely want to be perpendicular on your attack on the logs when it's wet out, because if you come in at them an angle, you're going down.
Yeah, do the best you can. Best thing you can do usually is pick up the front wheel.
So when you talk about picking up the front wheel, explain what you're doing when you're attacking something there.
Well, I guess it'd be best said, when in doubt, power out. And that means...
So you're giving it some extra gas.
Yeah.
Where's your body when you're doing that?
Depends on your riding position. Should be fairly aggressive, more over the front when you're doing stuff like that. And I I like to kind of weight my pegs and bounce a little bit if I'm needing to pick up the front end quick.
Cool. Well, hey, Cal, you're one of the best riders I know in the Northwest. Thanks for giving some tips to the riders.
Right on.
All right, following Jeremy here on his brand new 2020 KTM XC non-W. So we are seeing somebody that is putting their foot out when he moves.
That being said, the only thing I can say is coming into the corners, if you can manage to stand up the whole time,
Yeah.
you're going to change your riding style.
Okay. All right, we're following Cal, and pay close attention to the way this bike has pretty much no weight on it. So Cal's running with one hand and able to keep up with the rider in front of him. It just goes to show you how incredibly good his balance is. I do not suggest trying that at home.